Hello, all you fine, beautiful people. I'm back here once again, and this time I'm bringing an album review of In the Wake of Poseidon by King Crimson. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, click that little bell down below so you don't miss anything. And like always, if there's any album you want me to review, just put it down below in the comments section. Now, coming off of King Crimson's landmark record In the Court of the Crimson King, King Crimson embarked on a North American tour, which by the end of it was left with Robert Fripp pretty much being the only member left. Greg Lake would go on with Keith Emerson and Carl Palmer to form Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Giles and McDonald, I believe, went on to form a band together as well. But they did work on this record. Greg Lake got paid in PA equipment of the band and kind of ushered in a whole nother era of King Crimson. Now, the musicians on here is Robert Fripp on guitars and mellotron, Peter Sinfield on lyrics, Michael Giles on drums, Greg Lake on vocals, Gordon Haskell on vocals on only the third song, Mel Collins on sax on song 2 and flute on song 3, Peter Giles on bass, and Ken Tippett on piano. Track listing for this album is A Piece, A Beginning, Pictures of a City, Cadence and Cascade, In the Wake of Poseidon, Peace, A Theme, Cat Food, The Devil's Triangle, and Peace and End. Now, the album starts off with Peace, A Beginning, Greg Lake's a cappella vocals, then followed with very slight hints of music underneath, leading right into Pictures of the City, which has a very jazzy intro rhythm, sounds kind of like a jazz funk kind of thing going on. I guess you could say kind of a jazz fusion kind of sound. Lake's vocals on this, at least for me, I could be completely wrong, kind of feel like he's trying to recapture that 21st century schizoid man type thing with this song, just with a less distorted kind of voice, which is really interesting. The bass line to this is just infectious. Like, it's really good. The song builds to a very much a fever pitch, and then a Fripp guitar solo, a chaotic middle section, a smooth bass section throughout, and a very chaotic ending, which very much is in the vein of that early first album from King Crimson, especially 21st Century Schizoid Man, where it's very chaotic at times, with a lot going on. On to song number 3, Cadence and Cascade, is a very beautiful, dreamy song. I love this song on this record. I love how mellow the vocals are, very much in the vein of I Talk to the Wind or even Moonchild from the first record, just very soft. The flute solo is amazing, and to me it sounds very much, and I could be completely off base here, it sounds very much like a very commercial version of King Crimson here. But it's such a beautiful song. Like, this song completely, for me at least, is just utter beauty to listen to, and it's very short. That's another thing I'll mention, that the song is short. Song number 4 is the title track, In the Wake of Poseidon. Epic intro to it. Has kind of a epitaph in the Court of the Crimson King type epicness to it, with such emotion, sorrow, and despair kind of thrown into it. I love Fripp on this, especially his acoustical playing throughout the song, just completely gives it a dimension that I think with Robert Fripp, whether it's electric or acoustic, fine guitar player. The drumming also on this sounds very epic at times. Like, Michael Giles, listening to his drums, sounds just like the drummer should sound for a band with the name King Crimson. Works so well. And it's very refrained, this song. This is something I'll give this song, is it's very refrained. There isn't that chaos throughout it. There isn't any real chaos in it, which is a nice little treat from King Crimson, where maybe songs where they could have went for it, they kind of laid back, polished it out a little smoother around the edges. On to song number 5, Piece of Theme. Acoustic version of the opening, but so beautiful. Like Robert Fripp, as I said, his guitar playing is amazing throughout King Crimson. On to song number 6, Cat Food, which I believe they played at Top of the Pops. This is their only Top of the Pops song. It has a very groove-laden intro with piano playing out through spots. I love Greg Lake singing this, where it's almost like, because Greg Lake is so used to being kind of mellow at times, that when he sings this, it feels like he's shouting at parts throughout this song. It has a nice change, has a very pop feel to it. It's a very nice change, pop feel to it. The bass lines to this are just infectious. A very catchy chorus. The acoustic and electric section is just hypnotic, almost trance-like, listening to it over and over again. And the song just ends very, very abruptly, but it works here really well. On to song number 7, The Devil's Triangle. I love how this song builds with a very slow build, and then builds into drums, and then the mellotron, and then the bass gives it this epic feel that King Crimson is known for. And it also has a very emotional build to it that goes from being very emotional and then just changes to this almost sinister and very dark section of the song. Avant-garde soundscapes, very ominous feel, very avant-garde, but I like how beautifully they set up the ending, just being very acoustic, soft acoustic, and then leading into peace and end. Nice vocal harmonies on this, where it starts off with Greg Lake, and then the other guy comes in and it follows, and the song is just so beautiful. This is such a beautiful album to listen to. Now, if I had to give some highlights to this album, it's the follow-up to In the Court of the Crimson King, and I feel like this is an amazing follow-up to it. Great musicianship, great vocals, the great emotion throughout. Like, this album is like In the Court of the Crimson King, just a lot more polished and kind of commercial. I like the theme of peace throughout, how there's the 3 themes, and they're all kind of the same, and they have that same feel to them, but they're all completely different, and you could even throw them all 3 together as a song, and it works perfect as a song. Like I said, the vocals are outstanding, and it's a more real commercial sound for King Crimson. I think that's a reason why it did so well in the charts. I believe number 4 in the UK. Is a lot of it has to do with, I think, how well it sounds and how more, I guess, I hate using the word commercial, but just how commercial it is compared to In the Court of the Crimson King. Lowlights for it, I wish it was longer. I really do wish this album was longer. Not really much more bad to say about it, other than the fact last time we get to hear Greg Lake on vocals and this band together before everything changes. Album cover, I have to say right off the bat, that album cover just draws you in. At least it did for me. I'm looking at that and I'm like, what's going on here? So I did research into it, and it's called The 12 Faces of Humankind. And I love it. It's amazing. It's one of those where you look at and you're like, that's strange. I'll listen to that album just because of this album cover is so strange, that type of thing. If I had to give this album a grade out of 5, and this is one of the hardest gradings I think I've ever had to do for an album, because I love this record, and I've been thinking about this a lot today. I actually think I love this album more than In the Court of the Crimson King. Like, it's a great record. Very polished, very well done. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to give this album a 5 out of 5. It is a perfect record. But hey, I want to know, what do you guys think of it? What would your grade of this album be? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Indifferent? Do you agree with me on my rating of it? Anyway, let me know down below in the comment section. But like always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is me here signing out. Peace.